back for another hour-long vinyasa flow. Today our main focus is going to be on joint mobility. We won't need any props besides just yourself and your mat, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and find a comfortable either seated position or corpse pose on your mat so we can start with Shavasana. Closing your eyes, relaxing your shoulders down and back. Slight tuck in your chin so that your spine is elongated. Palms are facing up to receive energy or facing down to keep yourself grounded. Taking deep inhales through the nose and pushing all your air out through your mouth. Finding your natural rhythm of breath and keeping your attention on your breath. With your next inhale, extend your arms overhead. Give yourself a nice free stretch. This can look different for all of us. Maybe rocking your knees from side to side. Maybe you're pulling your knees into your chest. Making yourself into a small ball. Rocking and rolling on your lower spine. And then if you're not already here, pulling both knees into your chest. And taking both knees out wide to the sides of your torso and pulling your knees down toward your mat. Now with your hands gently gliding or letting your legs glide up and down, opening up your hips. And then gently closing your legs, releasing your left leg out long and pulling your right knee into your chest. Rocking that knee back and forth, making small circular motions, massaging the hip and its joint. And then straightening that right leg and walking your hands up the back of your calf. Holding here, feeling the stretch through the back of your hamstring. And then maybe lifting your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, drawing your nose toward your knee for a deeper stretch. Good, then releasing your upper body back down towards the ground, pulling your knee back into your chest. And then guiding your knee out wide to the right, opening up your hip. Taking a few really deep breaths here. With each exhale, letting your hip open up. Telling your hip to relax with each exhale. After your third breath, bringing your knee across your body and over to the left side for a spinal twist. Arms come out into a T. Making sure both of your shoulders are grounded so that you're not putting too much pressure on your spine. And then coming back through center, pulling both knees into your chest, then sending both feet up the wall. Bottoms of your feet are planted up against the ceiling. Feet are flexing, feeling the pull through the back of your hamstrings. Then slowly lowering both legs down, activating your core, moving as slow as you can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Once your feet hit, pulling your left knee into your chest this time. Circular movements with your knee. And straightening out that left leg, walking your hands up the back of your left calf, hamstring stretch. Your left foot is flexed, both hips are grounded. Then lifting your head, neck, and shoulders closer towards your kneecap. Feeling a deeper stretch through the back of your hamstring. And lowering your upper body back down whenever you're ready. Pulling that left knee back into your chest, hugging it in really tight, and then guiding it out to the left side, opening up your hip. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Telling your hip to relax with each exhale. Then after your 3rd breath, drawing that knee back into your chest and across your body for a spinal tip twist. Arms come out into a T or cactus arms, gazes over your left arm. Coming back through center. Bringing in the right knee into your chest, rolling and rocking in your ball. And then rocking your way all the way up to a seated position. Coming into easy cross legs. Bring your arms out to either side in a T. And making small circles with your arms starting backwards. Let's do 10 here. Feeling the shoulders roll in the shoulder joint. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take 10 forwards. Good. Inhale, both arms up overhead, taking your right arm and grabbing your left elbow, pulling down on your left elbow, giving yourself a tricep stretch. Sitting up tall through your spine. And inhaling, both arms up. Left arm grabs right elbow. Tricep stretch on the opposite side. Again, inhaling your arms up. Exhale, forward folding over your crossed legs. Inhale, coming up slowly. Bringing your hands to your knees and doing some shoulder rolls here. So first, inhale, shoulders come to your ears. Exhale, shoulders roll down and back. Again, inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, down and back. Just go 3 more times. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, down and back. Then inhale back up through center and exhale forward folding over your legs 1 more time. Rocking yourself back and forth. Really sinking back into the hips as you stretch forward. Then with your next inhale, rolling over your knees, finding a tabletop. We're gonna do some wrist mobility here in tabletop. So first, making sure your hands are shoulder width apart. Your fingertips are spread out wide and they're pressing down into the ground. And we're going to do 10 circles around to the right. Moving slowly and listening to your wrists. Good, and then after 10 to the right, we'll do 10 to the left. Feeling the strength of your shoulders here. Drawing your shoulder blades up and away from each other, rounding the upper back. Good, and after 10, keeping your hips high, but walking your hands away from you, lowering your chest down towards the mat. Opening your heart center, finding puppy pose. Gazes forward towards your fingertips. Hips are high. And then threading the needle, left arm goes underneath the right. Right arm can inhale up in the air. Maybe dropping that right hand back behind your back. And then reaching it out, up again long, sending both arms forward again for puppy pose. Trying to draw your lower stomach and ribs down towards your thighs here. And then threading the right arm underneath the left. Holding here or extending that left arm up long. Again, having the option to drop it behind your back and open up your shoulders. Good, sending both hands out long again and making your way back up into your tabletop. This time we're going to flip our fingertips toward ourselves. So your fingers rotate around to the outside. Feeling a stretch through our inner forearms here. Rocking back and forth, forward and back. Breathing into this stretch. Good, now flipping our hands upside down. Fingertips are pointing towards your legs. And you're going to try to not have a bend in your elbows here. Remember, the closer your knees are to your hands, the less pressure you will have on your hands. So adjusting your distance from your hands accordingly. But trying to keep your elbows straight while rocking forward and backward. Good, now flipping our hands back to normal, palms down. Walk your hands out forward, engaging your core, doing a modified Chaturanga here, coming down onto your stomach, taking your arms out into a T, resting your left ear on the ground, and then bending your right knee, rotating your ankle of your right foot that's in the air. Then kicking that right foot up and over toward your left hand. Here, pulsing your bent knee up and down. Feeling a pull through the quad. Coming back through center. Then bending the left knee. Rolling the ankle. Then kicking that left foot back and over. And again, pulsing your knee up and down, feeling a stretch through the front of the quad. And rolling back onto your stomach, grounding your palms, pushing up, coming into upward facing dog. Slight bend in your elbows, shoulder blades are squeezed together, Gaze is up toward the ceiling. Tops of your feet are pressing down actively into your mat. And then pushing all the way back, coming into child's pose. Toes come to touch. Knees can be together or out wide to the outside corners of your mat, up to you. Sinking into your child's pose. Taking 3 deep inhales and exhales here. Then pushing back up to tabletop. From your tabletop, checking your alignment. Wrists are underneath your shoulders. Knees are hip distance apart. Moving through some cat-cows here. First, dropping your stomach, lifting your gaze. Tilting your tailbone up as you inhale. Then exhale, pushing away. For cat, rounding the upper back, drawing your navel in toward your spine. Then inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Maybe rocking forward and backward in your hips as you're transitioning from cat to cow. So as you're dropping your belly with your inhale, shifting your weight back slightly. Then with your exhale, as you're rounding your back, shifting your weight forward. Trying some spinal waves here in our cat-cows, making the movement fluid, trying to find your full range of motion in your spine. And then coming back to center, kicking your right knee back, leg lifts, core is engaged, your back isn't arched, you want to pull in that core tight. And then drawing your right knee to elbow. Good, kicking it back. Knee to nose. Kicking it back. Knee to left elbow this time, twisting across. Again, kicking it back, engaging your core. Knee to right elbow. Kick back, extend, squeezing through the glute. Exhale, knee to nose. Kick back. Then knee to left elbow. Kick back. Good. This time sweeping your foot all the way through, coming into a low lunge. Inhale, lifting up in your chest, sinking into that low lunge, making sure your knee is directly over your ankle here. Then we're going to do a few pulses. So first, coming out of your low lunge slightly. Lifting your chest, stacking your shoulders right above your hips. And then exhale, sinking deep into that low lunge. You can have your hands wherever, maybe heart center at your hips or up and overhead. We'll rise it up again. Then exhale, sinking deep into your low lunge. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, sinking deep. Now heel toeing your foot to the right side of your mat and bringing your hands to the instep of that right foot. Holding here on your palms and then pulsing that right knee out. You might roll onto the outer edge of your foot here. Just getting some movement in that hip, maybe rocking forward and backwards with it. Maybe some cracks or pops here. Just opening up the hip. Staying here or coming down onto your elbows for lizard pose. And lizard pose, you can also come up onto the ball of the back foot. Finding whatever variation works best for you. Good, coming back up onto your palms if you're not already there, and taking your right foot out to the side. Your foot should be right in line with your knee. Then walking your hands out forward, lowering your chest. finding a gate pose variation. And then sinking your hips all the way back down. Inhale, lifting your chest up. And we're going to reach towards that right foot. And bringing your hands back out in front of you. Tabletop hands, and then bringing your knees back together. We'll kick that left leg back this time. Again, engaging your core, squeezing through the left glute. We'll draw the knee in towards our left elbow, engaging the core, and kicking the leg back, knee to nose. Extend, knee to right elbow. Extend. We'll go through it one more time, checking in with your core again, making sure it steps up and in toward your spine. It's easy to let your back arch here. Leg draws in towards your left elbow. Exhale, extend. Center. Extend. Right elbow. Extend. Good, this time sweeping that left foot all the way through, finding your low lunge on the left side. Your foot is directly in between your hands. Your knee is directly over your ankle. Sinking into that low lunge. Then we'll inhale, coming up slightly, stacking your shoulders right above your waist. Big inhale, then exhale, sinking into your lunge. Again, inhale, coming up. Exhale, sinking. Inhale, up. Last time, exhale, sink. And bring your hands to the instep, heel toeing that left foot out. And rocking back and forth with the left knee. Maybe rolling onto the outside edge of your left foot. Just feeling out the hip joint. Maybe rocking back and forth. Whatever feels good here to you. Good, and then finding your variation of lizard pose. So coming either on, so we'll stay here if that's as far as you can go, and or coming onto your elbows, or last untucking the back toes and lifting the knee. Breathing here as you exhale, telling your hips to relax. Then coming back up onto our palms, shifting the weight in our hips back and bringing the left foot directly next to us. Your heel should be in line with your knee. Walking your hands away from you, finding a variation of gate pose here, keeping your hips high, lowering your chest down toward your mat. Gaze is toward your fingertips, and then sinking all the way back in your hips. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, folding to the left over your left leg. Now bring your hands back to tabletop, knees come together. Centering the left knee and lifting up in the right. Then extending that right leg. Bringing it back in and closing. We'll do 4 more of these, lifting up in your fire hydrant, extending out long, keeping the heel flexed. Then bending again and close. 3 more, lift, extend, close, close. Lift, extend, bring it back, and close. Last time. Lift your fire hydrant, extend, close, close. Feeling it really in the outside of the glute here. Taking some C shapes, compressing your side body, looking over your right and left shoulders. Good, and then we'll take it on the other side. This time centering your right knee. Fire hydrant on the left side, lifting it directly up into the side, then extending the left leg, drawing it back, and close. 4, bring it up, extend, back, and close. Up, extend, back, close. 2 more. Up, extend, back, close. Last one. Up, extend, back, and close. Good. Coming back to your tabletop, untucking your back toes, pressing down through your palms, lifting through your hips, finding your first down dog. Pedaling out your feet here in your down dog. Lowering your chest toward the space underneath you. Drawing your heels down towards your mat, finding length in the hamstrings. And it's also okay to bend your knees in order to relax your shoulders and chest toward the space underneath you. On your next inhale, gazing up toward your fingers, coming onto your tippy toes and walking your feet all the way forward to meet your hands, grabbing opposite elbows with your hands and taking a ragdoll, letting the weight of your torso pull you down deeper into the stretch. Then heel toeing your feet out wide to the outside corners of your mat and having your toes out at a 45-degree angle. Then bending your knees, sinking your hips down and back, coming into a Malasana squat. Bring your hands to heart center, using your elbows to push up against your knees and open up your chest, sitting up tall through your spine and through the crown of your head. Good, then we're going to push down through our heels, coming back into your forward fold, lifting up with your hips. Rocking back and forth in your forward fold. We'll take that 2 more times, bending the knees, sinking the hips down and back. Bring your hands to heart center, feeling tall and strong through your Malasana. Then exhale, lifting the hips up and back. Forward fold. If it's too hard to transition between the two, it's okay to just pick one or the other to hang out in before moving on to the next pose. Last time, sinking your hips down and back, pushing through your elbows, tall through the spine. And exhale, coming back to your forward fold, heel toeing your feet back together, toes come to touch. Heels are slightly separated. Inhale, halfway lift, straightening out your spine through the crown of your head. Exhale, deepening your forward fold. Grabbing onto the back of your legs, either your thighs or your calves, pulling yourself down deeper into your forward fold. Then inhale, slowly rolling yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time, rolling your shoulders down and back. Inhaling, both arms up overhead. Right hand grabs the left wrist. Side bend to the right. Can't really see me here. Side bending to the right from standing. Then left arm grabs the right wrist. Side bend to the left. Bend back over to the right. Gazes toward the ceiling. And then to the left. Good. Rolling your shoulders down and back, taking both arms back behind your back, opening up your chest, lifting the palms. Rocking back and forth here, showing your heart to either side of the room. taking your hands out in front of you, interlacing your palms and fingers, and then flipping your palms so they're facing away from you, rounding your shoulder blades, pushing them apart. Good. From here, you're going to step your right foot all the way back, finding a crescent lunge. So your hips are squared to the front of your mat, back leg is working straight, and you're going to have a heavy bend in your left leg. From here, you want to make sure your shoulders are stacked directly over your hips. And we're going to take a lunge, lowering yourself down, hovering that knee from the ground. Then coming up, coming to all the way straight, dropping your back heel, arms come out into a T. Now hips are squared to the side of your mat. Arms come out into a T, leaning forward over the left leg, reaching as far as you can with the left arm. Coming into your triangle pose, right arm reaches toward the ceiling, left arm is on your calf or on your thigh. Windmilling yourself back up, right arm reaches down the back leg, left arm extends toward the back wall. Good, shifting your weight forward again, coming into that crescent lunge and lunging all the way down. This time we're going to hold at your lowest point. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Coming up, straightening your legs, dropping your back heel again, except your hips are still squared to the front of your mat. Taking both hands behind your back, grabbing opposite elbows, lowering your chest for pyramid pose, hinging at your hips, feeling a stretch through the left hamstring. And inhale your chest all the way back up, stepping your right foot up to meet your left, and then hovering on your left foot, grabbing your right foot and pulling your knee or your ankle in toward your glute, giving yourself a quad stretch, keeping your knees drawn in towards each other, protecting. Then stepping all the way back with your left foot this time, finding a crescent lunge, stacking your shoulders directly over your waist, bending in the left knee, finding your lunge. Inhale, straightening the legs, dropping your back ankle, squaring off your hips to the long side of your mat. Right arm reaches out, left arm reaches back, shifting your weight forward, reaching with your right arm this time, then lowering that right arm down to either your thigh or your calf for triangle pose. Left arm reaches up toward the ceiling. Should be feeling a stretch in the outside of the left side body. And windmilling yourself all the way up, arms come back out. This time left arm glides down the back leg, right arm high fives the back wall. Good, then bringing both arms up by your ears, squaring both hips off to the front of your mat again, coming onto the ball of your back foot. Lowering down into your lunge. Back leg bends, hovering that left knee, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, coming all the way back up, dropping that back heel again, but making sure your hips are still squared to the top of your mat. Then grabbing both arms behind your back, opposite elbows or reverse prayer hands, and forward folding over that right leg. Pyramid pose. Drawing your chin down towards your shin and your stomach down toward your thigh. Reaching through the crown of your head. And then inhaling your chest all the way back up, stepping the left foot up to meet the right. We'll take a quad stretch on this left leg. So shifting all of your weight into your right leg, bending the left leg and grabbing the foot. Pulling your heel in closer towards your glute, keeping your knees close together. Then releasing the foot and drawing your knee up and in front of you. Balancing here, taking that knee out wide, opening up the hip and closing your knees together. For 4 more, inhaling your knee up, out wide, opening up the hips, and then back down and together. Again, up, out wide, down and together. 2 more, up, out to the side, down and together. Last time, up, out wide, down and together. Good. Grounding both feet. Inhaling your arms up overhead. Exhale, slight back bend, arching your back, shining your chest toward the ceiling, pushing your hips forward. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, baby back bend again. Inhale, reaching your arms up, straightening the spine last time. Exhale, baby back bend, shining your heart toward the ceiling, pushing your hips forward, squeezing your glutes. Inhale, coming all the way up. Bringing your toes to touch, heels are slightly separated. Bring your hands through heart center, forward fold, hinging at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your thighs or your calves, straightening out the spine. Exhale, forward fold, bending your knees, grounding your hands, stepping back to your high plank, engaging your core. Shoulders are directly over your wrists. Slight bend in the elbow, so you're activating your inner biceps. And then from here, either coming onto your knees through Chaturanga or staying up on the balls of your feet, but hugging your elbows in tight. Inhale, pushing up through upward facing dog, pushing down through the tops of your feet, and then pushing back all the way into child's pose. Reconnecting with your breath here in child's pose. And coming back up to a tabletop position, untucking your toes, lifting the hips, finding a down dog. Pedaling out your feet here in down dog and taking your feet out wide. Seeing if this helps you lower your chest toward the space underneath you. Remember, it's still okay to have a generous bend in your knees if that helps you lower your chest. But playing around with your body here, seeing what shapes help you either lower your chest or isolate the hamstrings. Then walking your feet back together, centering your right leg and lifting the left, squaring the hips. Toes are pointed down toward the ground. Inhale, then exhale, drawing your knee to your left elbow, kicking it back up. Inhale, then exhale, knee to nose, back up. Last time, knee to right elbow, twisting here, good job. Grounding that left foot, coming down onto your knees, sinking back into your hips, rolling your shoulders down and back. We're really working the shoulders here in that one, so loosening them up. Grounding your left hand directly next to you, reaching with your right hand to the side, feeling a stretch through the outside of your right side body. Then grounding the right hand, reaching with your left to the right side. Gaze is under your arm toward the ceiling. Taking your arms back behind you, interlacing your palms, lowering your chest down toward your thighs, lifting your palms up above you. And then lowering your hands down to either side, finding child's pose. And then coming back into your tabletop, untucking your toes, finding your down dog again. We'll do the same knee drives here on the right side, so centering your left foot and kicking back and up with your right foot. If you know the knee drives were too intense for you, you can either just stay here and hold your three-legged down dog, really actively pushing through the palms and fingertips, or you can just hold a regular down dog. But trying to challenge yourself and see if you can stay up and down dog and be working this whole time. So if you're in your three-legged downward dog, toes are pointed down towards the ground. Inhale, then exhale, drawing your knee to your right elbow, shifting your weight forward in plank. Exhale, extend. Knee to nose. Exhale, extend. Knee to left elbow. Exhale, extend. Wonderful job planting that right foot. Gaze is up towards your fingertips, walking your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, straightening out your spine. Exhale, deepen your forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Inhaling all the way up through mountain pose. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Hands come out wide beside you. Inhale, arms come back up again. Exhale, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straightening through the spine. Exhale, deepen your fold. Then plant your hands, step or hop back to your high plank. Moving down through your Chaturanga Vinyasa, lowering the elbows. Inhale. Exhale, pushing up to down dog. Centering the left foot, lifting the right foot, sweeping that right foot all the way through. Dropping your back heel, making sure your knee is stacked directly over your ankle. Coming into warrior one, hips are squared to the front of your mat. If it helps, maybe sending both arms long in front of you. That helps me square off my shoulders. Then grounding your hands, stepping the right foot back. Lifting your hips for down dog, then kicking the left leg up, sweeping the left leg through, finding your warrior one on your left side this time. Dropping your right heel, knee is directly above your ankle, coming up into warrior one on your left side. Again, having the option to drop your hands in front of you, helping you square off your hips to the front of your mat. Then lowering the hands, stepping back, finding your down dog, walking your feet forward to meet your hands again, sinking back in your hips, then lifting up, finding chair pose. Bringing your toes to touch, heels are slightly separated, knees are glued together. Tailbone is tucked down and under, activating the glutes. Seeing if we can lift up in that right leg, still sinking back in the left. Arms are still reaching. We're going to step the right leg out to the side, back together, right leg back, together. Again, out to the right side, together, back, together. Still bending heavily in that left leg. We'll do it 2 more times. Out, together, back, together. Last time. Out, together, back, together. Good. Finding your normal chair pose again. Rolling your shoulders down and back. Checking in, making sure your tailbone is tucked down and under. Shifting all of your weight into your right leg this time. Left leg steps out, together, back, together. 3 more, still sinking into that right leg. Out, together, back, together. 2 more, out, together, back, together. Out, together, back, together. Good. Straightening both legs, rolling your shoulders down and back. That was hard work, feeling it in the outside of the glutes and really the shoulders. Bringing your hands to your shoulders and circling your elbows backwards. Taking 10 circles here. Reconnecting with your breath. After 10 backwards, move to 10 forwards. Then inhaling both arms up. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, lifting up. Straightening out the spine. Exhale, grounding your hands, bending your knees. Stepping back to high plank. Lowering your knees. Bringing your knees back to the outer edges of your mat. Toes come to touch. Sinking your hips back, but staying up high. Inhaling both arms up. Exhale, twisting to the right. Left arm comes to your knee. Right arm reaches around and back. If this is too much pressure on your knees, feel free to also take it from a seated position. Inhaling your arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. And inhale, back up. Exhale, twist to the right. Gaze is toward the back wall. Using that left hand to push into your knee and deepen your twist. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the left. And bring your knees closed if they were not already there. Folding your chest down on top of your legs. Resting your hands beside you. Finding a child's pose. Lots of child's poses today. It's felt good. Reconnecting with your breath. Rolling yourself up and coming into a seated position. Bringing the bases of your feet to touch. Finding butterfly. Sitting up tall and letting your hands come behind you. Pressing down through your feet and trying to open up your hips here. Seeing if you can do it naturally without pressing into your knees. Seeing if you can just press into the ground and open up your hips. Good, then relaxing, drawing both legs out long in front of you. Inhale, your arms up. Exhale, forward folding over your legs. If you want to take your legs slightly wider here in your forward fold, whatever feels good to you. Inhale, slowly rolling yourself up, drawing your right knee into your chest, rocking it back and forth. And then bringing your foot to the inside of your thigh and letting your knee come out wide. Left arm reaches down that left leg, feeling a stretch through the outside of the right side body, then reaching up and over with the right hand. Your gaze is underneath that right arm. Good, and then maybe squaring off your shoulders so they're both facing your foot and reaching equally with both arms toward that left leg. Good, drawing your left foot in, bringing the bases of your feet to touch, grabbing onto your ankles and using your elbows to push your knees down. Good, then sending that right leg out long, left knee opens up. Right arm slides down the right leg, left arm reaches up and over, gazes underneath the left arm. And then squaring off the shoulders so they're both facing toward that right foot and reaching with both hands toward the right foot. Good. Closing your legs and sending the left leg out long to meet the right, finding another forward fold, being sloppy here and just letting the weight of your torso pull you down. Using your hands to pull you down, grabbing wherever on your legs. Letting your head hang, tucking your chin, feeling a stretch through the back of the neck. Good, and then rolling back onto your back, rocking out in your little ball. And seeing if you can straighten your legs for legs up the wall. Flexing your feet. Staying here if this is as far as you can go. But seeing if you can reach your feet down toward the space behind you. Taking your hands to your lower back to support you in this reclined position. Straightening your legs. Drawing your elbows in towards each other as they're supporting your lower back. Coming out at any moment, back to your legs at the wall, or finding your candlestick. So if you want to have one leg grounded to start, and try lifting the left one at a time. Lifting one at a time. And then if you feel ready, you can bring the right up to meet the left, still supporting yourself in your lower back. Good, then bringing your feet back down one at a time behind you before rolling back onto your lower back, pulling both knees into your chest. Then bring both knees out wide to the side, opening up your hips, grabbing peace fingers on your big toes, pulling your knees down toward the space beside you. Rocking yourself back and forth. Maybe try touching each knee to the ground beside you. Good, then inhaling both legs up long. Bring your arms out into a T and dropping both legs to the right side. Gazes over the left arm. Engaging your core, seeing if you can keep your legs straight as you lift them up, and then dropping them all the way to the left. Lowering yourself down slowly, using your core. Gazes over the right arm this time. Back through center, lifting your legs, grounding your feet. Heels come to your glutes, hands come directly next to you. Lifting up through the hips, finding your bridge pose. Squeezing the glutes, opening up through the front of the hips. Maybe taking your hands behind you, interlacing your palms, rolling onto your upper shoulders and lifting your hips higher. Then releasing and rolling back all the way onto your back. And pulling your knees into your chest one last time. And then sending your legs out long. Finding your corpse pose for Shavasana. Letting your feet span out wide, taking up as much room on your mat as you need. Reconnecting with your breath, inhaling through your nose, deep exhales through your mouth. Tucking your chin halfway, rolling your shoulder blades down and back, removing the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relaxing the muscles between the eyebrows. Noticing the heat we just built in our bodies. Using this time to absorb all the work we just did. Staying in Shavasana for as long as you need. Otherwise, reaching your arms overhead, wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling onto the right side of your body, and making your way up to a seated position. Bringing your hands to heart center, and then taking your thumbs to your third eye, bowing your head, closing your eyes. The light and love inside of me honors the light and love inside of you. And sharing these things, we are united, we are the same, and we are one. Namaste.